Hello and welcome. In this lecture video, we're going to be talking about how to solve these cost volume profit analysis problems using the shortcut way. In the prior lecture video, we talked about how to do them the long way. The long way is basically using the profit equation to recreate the contribution income statement at different levels of output and based upon these assumptions. So now we're going to look at doing the shortcut way, which is using incremental analysis. Okay, so with the shortcut way, which is incremental analysis, what we're going to be doing is looking at changes in contribution margin and changes in fixed costs. We're going to be looking at changes in contribution margin and changes in fixed costs. So if we look at this first one, what's the profit impact if RBC increases unit sales from 500 to 540 by increasing monthly advertising? So we can turn the page over here. So what we can do is we're going to say, what is our increase in contribution margin? So we're going to look at the change in contribution margin. Well, in this case, we know we had originally 500 units and now we have 540 units. And we're not told anything about the contribution margin per unit changing. It still stays constant at $200 a unit. So all you need to do is to say, well, okay, I have 40 units at $200 per unit. That gives me my increase in contribution margin, which gives me $8,000. And then what I can say is I'm going to subtract that from my increase, my change in fixed costs. And I know my fixed costs increased because of advertising. It was $80,000. Now it's $90,000 because I increased the advertising by $10,000. That means the profit impact is a decrease of $2,000. 8,000 minus the 10,000 is negative 2,000, right? So profit decreased by 2,000. Which you can also see by looking at those two right there. Okay, let's do number 2 together, and then I'll have you do numbers 3 and 4 on your own and check your work. So with number 2, I'm going to say original contribution margin, which is equal to our 500 units times our $200 a unit. This is from the prior page, gives us $100,000. Our new contribution margin is equal to our 580 units times, now our new contribution margin per unit is $190. Okay, it's $190, and I got that by taking my sales price, which was minus my my sales price minus my variable expenses per unit. Or if we look over here, okay, my variable costs go up by $10. That means my contribution margin goes down by $10. My original contribution margin is $200. Variable costs go up by $10. Contribution margin goes down by $10. Or what I could do is I could come over here and I could say, well, my sales price is still $500, right? I was not told anything about my sales price. My variable costs, though, are $10 higher, so they were $300. Now they're $310 under scenario 10. 500 minus the 310 gives me my $190 right there. Okay, that gives me my 110, 200. Then I can subtract them. That gives me my 10,200 in CM, which we see no other impact. If we look back over here, there's no change. There's no change in fixed costs. So our increase in CM of 10,200 is also equal to our increase in net operating income, and that's also because we're beyond the break-even point. Remember, once you're beyond the break-even point, any increase in contribution margin is your increase in net operating income. So our impact on net operating income is an increase of $10,200. Okay. All right. So what I want you to do now is pause this lecture video and do numbers 3 and 4, and then come back and check it. Okay. Welcome back. So let's see how you did. So with number 3, we have our original CM, $100,000. Our new contribution margin is 117. We had the 650 units times the 180, which is our new contribution margin per unit, which gives us our 117. That gives us our increase in contribution margin equal to 17,000 minus our increase of fixed costs of 15,000. That gives us our increase in profit. Our profit impact is an increase of $2,000. Okay. With number 4, we have our original contribution margin still at 100,000. We have our new contribution margin at 106,375, which is equal to the 575 units, times my new contribution margin per unit of 185. And the way I got my 185 is taking that $500 selling price minus the 315 of variable costs, 185. Because remember what happens, right, is variable costs go up, which they did because of the $15 commission. Variable costs go up. Contribution margin goes down by 15 bucks. Increase in contribution margin of 6,375. But then we had a decrease in fixed costs. So I'm saying I'm adding that decrease in fixed costs of $6,000 gives us our increase in profit of 12,375. Okay. So let me go back over here and talk about how I got this 180 again. So if we look at number 3, we cut the selling price by $20 a unit. So now it becomes $480, which is the new selling price, was $500. Now it's $480 minus my $300 variable expenses per unit gives me the 180. Okay. The other thing is, let's look at number 3. We have a profit impact. You can see went from 20,000 to 22, increased by 2,000. Here's the shortcut way, increased by 2,000. Same thing over here. Profit impact is an increase of 12,375. Profit impact increase of 12,375. Okay. So that ends this lecture video. In the next lecture video, I'm going to be reviewing break even again, and also target profit, and then the concept of margin of safety. Thank you.